Running your first session with a real client can feel like walking into a test that you didn't study for. But come here, here's a way to structure your initial session so that you're in control and your client walks away impressed. My name is Coach Joe Drake and I help new personal trainers not just build confidence, but also get real clients without guessing their way through their workouts. So next time you have a client coming in for their first session, they haven't signed up to work with you yet, I want you to try this simple three-part format. We break this down into talk, train, test, and tease, and I'm gonna give you exactly what this means. First off, we gotta have some conversation around their goals, their health history, PAR-Q, all the things that you know. We can't skip that. We don't wanna jump right into the movement when we don't know enough about their body. Not only because you're a great trainer and you wanna make sure you're doing the right things, but also if we're really trying to establish a good relationship, a long-term training relationship, we're trying to build rapport, you don't wanna rush this part. So you minimally wanna set aside 5 to 10 minutes to get through the conversation, the questions that you need to do. You need to hear them talk through to know what to do with them as you move into this next phase, all right? This is gonna be great rapport building, and if we've done it right, there'll be this nice transition into getting them out onto the gym floor. This is the train component. Now, it's key. We're not trying to beast them on day one. That oftentimes isn't gonna be the best experience that a lot of clients are looking for, and it also might not serve you as far as making sure you're setting them up for success. But we do wanna see them move, right? If I'm gonna train this person next week, I need to see them do some things. Now, we're gonna go a less formal assessment route because it's a lot more natural for clients and probably for you as well. And this is what I mean. Inside this 30 minutes of training, we're gonna choose 4 to 6 compound primary movements: squat, lunge, push, pull, these types of things. And we're gonna take them through what it just feels like a nice introductory workout. Now for you, the cool part is as I'm taking them through their body weight squat, and maybe I'm giving them a small weight for a goblet squat, I'm getting to coach up their position. I'm also getting to pick up some good information from them. How do they accept my coaching? How quickly do they pick up exercises? Also, am I picking up on any mobility restrictions, any weaknesses, things that are gonna naturally come up? So you don't have to rush this, but usually in 25 to 30 minutes, you can get through maybe a couple of very simple supersets, and you're getting what you need, kind of the assessment information relative to their training, and they're also just getting a good idea of what is it like to train with you, which is what most people are trying to figure out inside this first session. And then we gotta bring it home into what we call test and tease. And the test component can be a couple of things. This comes down to reading the person and paying attention to the things you talked about before. For some clients, this might be kind of like a fun little finish, right? Maybe they're looking for increased challenge and engagement in their workouts. You know, maybe you get them on a little sled push, nothing too crazy, but something to let them really push themselves at the end. Or maybe they want to train their core, so you give them kind of a cool core exercise just to add some value and make sure that they know, hey, guess what? I was listening earlier on and I know what you're looking for. For other clients, this might actually be better off going through some mobility and some stretching. Maybe they've got some issues and injuries that they work through that came up in conversation or in the workout. So that could be a really great value add for them at the end so that they leave feeling great rather than feeling beat up. So that's a piece you kind of have to read, but that's gonna take you then into, hey, maybe a fun little finish for them, and then a nice transition into teasing out the program. Like, what is it gonna look like to train with you? And so you wanna take the things you talked about before and translate that into how often do I think you should be working out? Let's already talk about like times of days that are gonna work well for you. I can start to give you a little insight into what I'm thinking, hey, based on what your goals are and seeing you move, like this is kind of how I see our workouts going. And really what you're doing is you're just trying to demystify what it looks like at the next step to make it easier for them to say yes and come back with you for the next session. So if this was helpful and you want to go deeper and learn a lot more about how to run great initial sessions, we go through an entire training inside of what I call the first session template and first session formula. It's what we teach inside of our courses here at the Academy. All you got to do is DM me the word sessions and I'm going to send it over to you. When it comes to getting new clients, the goal isn't just to impress people. It's really about creating connections and taking them through a safe, effective experience. You got this.